Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is part 2 of the Saiga SBS kind of like lightweight conversion that we're going to be doing from Basterd Labs. Already put on this front end, which was one of his 3D designs, like monolithic rail, this kind of M-lock style handrail. I actually forgot in the last video to put like my attachments back onto it, so I will be doing that at the end of the video. But I attempted in that video, if you watched it, if not, go and watch it, to actually change this, which is the stock tube, which apparently, according to him, and I can imagine this is the case, is that is a huge amount of weight on the back there. So I don't want to make this thing too super lightweight, but basically he has this 3D print, which is the rear stock tube, which is going to replace this part. It's not going to allow it to fold anymore, but this chunk is going to be gone, and that's what I'm quite excited to do, and it means I can make it a lot shorter if I want to. So what we're going to do is in this video is do that. We're going to basically replace this. I found out afterwards that I need to actually remove the trigger box inside to actually get rid of this. So it is going to be a bit more of a technical build or kind of change out than just removing a trigger box, than removing a stock and putting a new one in. So hopefully you guys are excited. I'm trying to like figure this out. I did do this again for the Groza build. I removed the trigger box, so I'm hoping that we should be good and I can get this done. But worst comes to worst, you know, just be prepared. So here are some of the parts actually from last time, which I didn't actually need anymore. I'm going to put these all into one area. I do also, for you guys, have the overhead camera. So we've got this here. So this thing loves to like decide which way it's going right now. I'll put this over here for you guys so it's not too far away and it can almost look straight down a bit more. Hopefully that's pretty good. So guys, yeah, so basically we're going to be doing this, this change out here. So I think what I need to do really is going to be get rid of the internals, because obviously we're going to have to take this trigger box out anyway. So I'm going to take out the, in fact, what I might do is just charge the action, just so then that hammer's depressed. I'm going to take out the spring, the bolt. That's going to be removed. We're then going to probably take out, I need to remove this actually, which is going to be, just put that in place there for a second. I need to remove this, which is the pistol grip. That's another thing that it kind of like locks into, which is annoying. Okay, that's slightly too big. Okay, so we're going to remove the trigger, sorry, the pistol grip. Pull that all the way out. So this is kind of my like indoor CQB gun. So I'm actually, as I said in the last video, going to be doing a build which is my Saiga 12K, which is going to be my HPA outdoor gun. And I've done quite a bit on that already, but I'm actually going to change out the front end of it because he basically, Basterd Labs makes these front end kits, and it's the entire thing, removing the barrel, like the gas block, the attachment, everything. And so I'm going to put that on this guy, on my SBS. So I'm quite excited to get that done. Right, let's work out, do I need to remove this? Let's make sure we don't lose that. This I'm going to put back in here. So actually, yeah, I'm going to put this here, this here. So I probably should have watched the movie before doing this, but we're going to figure it out together. It's going to be great fun. So I need to get these pins out for sure, because I know I need to get this lug out. Try and move this a bit closer so you guys can see it. I just don't want to take my red dot off. I probably definitely should do that, but I can't be bothered to do it right now. because it is kind of sighted in and I know it works where it is. Okay, so those are out there. I know this guy here, I'm gonna have to remove this one. Just make sure that's gonna go in there like that. Yep. Now I've just realized I actually have some supports that are still in there. So when that printed, those supports were there. So I need to just get those out. Get my knife maybe. Normally use these, but I feel like this might be a little bit too thick. No, that's good. Just removing these here. So it's a good thing I spotted those. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'd have got them anyway, but they're kind of like those supports that I didn't see when I was removing the other ones. It's gone. The amount of like support material that I like throw away right now is pretty crazy. Okay, so that's all clean now. See there, that little gap there, those supports are gone. So that's good. Onto this again. Let's remove this screw. I'll put that in there with these guys. So that, I thought I could just kind of like pull that off, and that was kind of the plan, was to do that. What I've realized since is that we can't do that. And so we need to remove all of this back end, including the trigger box. So this guy's going to come out. So there's a lot of screws. To be honest, I should thread lock this in when I put it back together. The one thing actually though is I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to keep this stock tube on here. What I do quite like is, well, I don't like because I don't use it, but like I may want to go back to this being the, I don't know why that's over there. This being the like foldable stock. You know, again, I don't think I've ever used it, except maybe for transport, but it is quite a good thing possibly to have. So I need to get this trigger box out now, and I'm trying to remember exactly how I did it. Now, I think from what I remember, I actually removed this and I needed to depress something to do it, which was that one. Yep. Okay, so that's going over here. I can't believe I just remembered how to do that, like first time. Okay, so that's fine. Then what we're going to do is take these pins out, I presume. So I'm going to knock these pins through with my punch. Let's get my punch here. I don't know where that other piece has gone. I need this on something. Now the one thing I can't remember is if I need to remove these two screws at the bottom here. I feel like I do, and I'm, oh no, I don't. I can literally just squeeze that out. So this whole thing here is very weighty. Like this thing weighs quite a bit. What I am going to need to do is, we'll do this in a minute, but I need to remove my actual stock off there to put it onto this. So if I can not remove that piece, or not take the trigger box out fully, slide this guy under like that, and then hold that in place, that would be ideal. Okay, I think we might have that in. Now this is where I'll put it back together and then realize, oh wait, I've like messed this up somehow. This might not be quite as like long video as I was expecting it could end up being. So that one's in. I've just put those in the wrong way. Did I put them in the wrong way? No, I didn't. Put them in the right way. I was like, okay, I definitely put those in wrong. Okay, let's just, should I test that that works in terms of the trigger? No, there's no pieces that have come out. So we'll do the amateur hour. We think that's worked. Let's leave it with that. Okay, so this guy's going to go back in. That's going to sit right there. That's going to come in this way. And we're going to rotate this down into there. That piece is clicked over the top, so that's great. So that means we're pretty much good in that regard. I'm going to put in these top pieces first. Sorry, these screws. And then we know that that's in place. And then I'm going to finish up with this guy here. Now, just want to make sure these go in straight, because obviously it's kind of threading. Now, what I said actually in the last video, which I forgot to mention in this one, is that it is going to be very dependent on what kind of print you're using. Sorry, in terms of filament. Like, you definitely want to make sure you are using a high quality filament or something that's going to be pretty hardy. Because you can definitely get filaments that will warp when they get hot. You're going to have issues where they may fracture if you get, they may end up fracturing if they get shot, which obviously if you're playing airsoft, that matters. I'm just going to not put those in fully yet, but I'm going to go back and tighten them afterwards. Quite excited just to see what the weight is like on this thing when it's done. From feeling how much weight, obviously like part of that is the stock, the actual like Magpul CTR stock that I've got on there. That is obviously going to be part of the weight, but it should also, it already feels just very, very light, this thing. Which means for moving it around in like a CQB environment, like switching shoulders with it, rotating it, like this thing's solid, very solidly put on. Okay, so that is there. I need this screw in the top here. Oh no, I don't need that screw because that is no longer there. There's no hole here. So obviously I don't need that anymore. That actually I think was to secure the positioning of this piece. So that makes a lot of sense. I'm now just going to need to put these pieces back. So this guy is going to go in here like that. Just make sure that sits in properly. Then we need to put this guy in through this gap. And we're going to screw this one in. There we go. So yeah, so I've used eSUN PLA Plus, which so far for me has been awesome. It's definitely annoying that they don't do this in more of a matte finish, because I would love that. Like if only eSUN would create one with a matte finish, I would be very, very happy. Still going. Just make sure that's flush there. Don't want to screw it in at an angle. Okay, so that feels solid. That's in place. Okay, so that's good, that's good. Last bit that we're going to do then is putting this pistol grip back on. And so we need to make sure we don't lose anything from here. This should go. Straight back on into here. Now, the one thing is this screw, I don't think I'm going to need it. This is going to be a tighter fit. So I think because we're threading in there, like threading into the actual, this is a little bit tight in terms of the, how this piece is going to fit on. Or do I not need that? No, I do. I am going to need this. Is this going to fit on? Because it looks like maybe that isn't going to fit. And I think, looking at that, it looks almost like there is, yeah, because that's not going to go straight on. It looks like these little edges here are not present on the base of this. You see here, there's no edges. And I think that's going to cause an issue. That's almost maybe because it was built for the original and this is like the adapter plate. I don't think that's going to squeeze on. So I might need to quickly get my Dremel and just kind of tone that down slightly so we can fit it on. Okay, I'm going to pause, guys. I'm going to get my Dremel and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back and I've got my trusty Dremel here. What a fantastic piece of kit for any airsofter who likes doing stuff. And I don't want to get too aggressive with this, so I might do something like that. I might do this guy. Maybe I'll do this edge. I'm probably going to scratch a little bit of paint, but it doesn't particularly matter because we're going to be doing this. I mean, I've scratched paint here anyway, but it doesn't particularly matter because we're going to be in a position of this is where now I'm like, right, maybe I should take this off. Oh, this is another thing. So this is going to be a bit more of a squeeze to get this on here. I have to work out this because it's obviously plastic, but you can see here, like this isn't going to seep as easily. This is an aftermarket one. I mean, it is so close. I'm going to try and just depress it slightly and it should go in. Yeah, that's a really close one, but it's almost like it's just slightly too tight right now for this. Okay, well let's sort this bit first. I'm going to try and just kind of rest it here. Put this on and turn it right down to the lowest setting. And then hopefully you guys can see this here, but I'm just going to be filing this down. Okay, so that's coming on pretty nice. Okay, so I've touched the replica slightly. So let's give that a go on that side. That should be good. This back ridge slightly. Okay, so that's good there. And then the other side. Not keeping my hand as straight. It's quite easy to Dremel this off just because it's like an extra piece. Doesn't seem like there's much effort needed. Okay. So I think that's good. Let's try it with that. And then I can always, if I need to, just Dremel slightly the back of that edge and try and do the same. But let's see if we can fit this guy on here now. Okay, that fits perfectly. Great. Okay, so that's good. Then I'm going to need... Oh, this could be... Is this going to be an issue? The length of this actual... No, we should be okay. I was thinking the length of the screw. It might be an issue. It's almost not fully biting. I mean, it's bitten in, but I'm going to want a longer screw. So I'm going to try and quickly grab a longer screw of this one, guys. Again, I'll pause. Okay, guys, so I didn't pause that, sorry. Let me just see if I paused it. I just basically kept you watching. So hopefully that took like 2 seconds, but I basically found two different other nuts here. One, it kind of seems like this is an M5 and this is a longer version, but it's not that much longer. So I'm hoping that this is going to be the one that fits and it will go far enough down. I might have a longer one, which I can go and find if not. But I also found an M4 that is longer. I think this is going to be good. because it almost feels to me like it's between an M4 and an M5. Though the width of the end of this countersunk okay, so that's perfect. That literally has gone in there amazingly. No, it's not really hanging over the edge. Okay, so now we can put this guy on here. Awesome. So you heard me digging around for screws there. I don't know what I was saying while I was doing it. And this guy should hopefully just go straight on. This is the plate that's built for it. Okay. So that is now on. Wow, this thing is light. Okay, it hasn't got the bolt in it. It hasn't got the different parts. Okay, so the only like hold up I think we're now going to have is this, which is going to be if my cover is going to fit in there. So what I'm going to try and do is maybe just force it and just see, because it does, like, that's the other good thing with plastic is it does kind of give, you know, it's going to be it's not going to be like it's a forgiving in a way material, unlike metal. So if I might just get a file actually and just file it. Okay, I'm gonna file it in 1 second. I'll be back again, guys, sorry. Okay, I'm getting all my gear out for this one. I've actually got a live stream with you guys in 25 minutes. So hopefully this is looking like we're in a good spot timing wise. Let's use this. This hopefully will allow me just to quickly file down this area here. Need a little bit more. This file is taking off such a minimal amount. Okay. You can see here how close it is to getting in. Like it's right on that edge. Could just kind of like force it on. It seems like my back cover is slightly bent as well. So I don't know how that happened, but if that helps. Still a bit off. Maybe I will get my hammer. It's almost a slightly awkward spot where I just can't force it. Get a more aggressive file. Where is my files gone? Here. This guy here. I don't think you're going to have this same issue with his kit with the standard top cover. It's just because I've done an aftermarket. It was definitely a lot tighter when I put it on the standard rear plate. Closer. It's like this little middle section. Make sure this is lined up as well. Keep going. Need a vise for this, really. And I'm trying to do this a bit quicker, guys, just because this is on a video and you guys are having to watch me do filing, which probably isn't so fun. But if you were doing it yourself, I would definitely say take more time, care, and effort to do it. Although, again, it's a 3D print, so you can mess it up once and reprint it. I really just want to bang it into place, but I also don't want to mess around and damage it or mess around and then not have it work properly. The other thing you could do is just wear it in and not fully tighten this down. It's just this middle bit right now. There we go. Okay, so that's clipped in fine. So that's perfect when that goes in now. That's going to wear in and out. So I'm just going to quickly knock this back out just with my piece, and then we'll put the bolt in and the spring and work out what this thing feels like. And then finally, the last thing we need to do is just put this actual stock piece, the actual stock, onto the stock tube, or my aftermarket stock onto the stock tube. I hate the stock pistol grip and I want to smash my finger now. So now, because it's there, the catch, I need to be almost depressing that whilst also hammering this down. Okay, there we go. So that's in, that guy is in, he's going to pop out. Okay, there we go, that's in all good. Right, so now this is working. Yep, all good. So that trigger doesn't need to be, this thing is so much lighter. It's just really, it's very middle heavy now. Like I'll put this stock on, but it's very much more, like the weight is no longer like all in the back. Okay, so this is the original stock piece with the tube. This is now the new one, and I'm now going to put this guy on here. What I always do on mine, you've seen it in a video before, is I put some Velcro or a strip of Velcro on the inside here because it just makes it a lot more taut. So I'm hoping that that's not going to affect this stock tube, because I'll always test it on the stock tube before I've done it. And this is going to be tight, which is good. But I nearly always have it fully. Yeah, this thing's sick. fully engaged. Fully depressed, sorry. So like for me, I want my stock pretty much that whole way in, like that. Maybe I'll pull it slightly on this one. That's probably, I think, yeah, where I'll have my stock. So that, guys, now is this guy pretty much built. In fact, what I did promise you guys at the start is that I would end up putting my attachments back on it. So I'm going to do that quickly now. But this thing is now effectively a Basterd Works, Saiga 12 SBS. We've got Basterd Works rear, what's it called? Stock tube on it. In fact, on my other one, I've got his grip, but I'm actually going to keep this one. I think this Magpul one, I quite like this one on here, and it's not going to be my HPA. On the other one, I've got an HPA trigger guard with the adapter, and then also an HPA grip, so the line's coming out here. You'll see that in the next video. This is a Basterd Works mag plate, Basterd Works front foregrip with rail and gas block assembly, and a Basterd Works what do you call it? Suppressor with room for my Ace Tech Quark M tracer unit inside. So let's go and put on the attachments, which I love on this thing, or I loved it when I had it on here before. But this is the Vitatu, what's the actual model name on this one? MCXLG. It's so good. Like, you've got your laser and your flashlight right there. And it's just for something like this, where it's a compact like CQB gun. Let me just see the positioning of that. I might go forward a bit. I can actually go further forward on this now, I think, than I could before. Also, though, it does matter what it looks like. So I'll go with that there. Yeah, this thing is perfect. If you want one of these, they're very well priced, but you can get 10% off. I'll put the discount code again below. So if you want to get one, you can go down there on the Vitatu website and just get it. You can get them on Amazon as well, but the Vitatu website is where you get the discount. So that's pretty sweet. Okay. As obviously always, that suppressor is going to block it slightly, but that's kind of like, you know, if you're running a suppressor on a Replica, that's probably what's going to happen. And then this is going to be something I think I can put on here. I'm not sure if I'll keep this on here now I've got that rail. Yeah, it is good just for like thumb positioning, just knowing where this is. Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. What do you think? Yeah, it adds quite a bit of coolness to it for sure, or just a bit of versatility. I don't have to use it because it's at the front if I don't want to. Is that the one I want, or is this the one I want? Okay, let's rotate it. So I need my light. Okay, and then I'm going to pull up on this bad boy. No, I'm not. Rotate it in here. So it probably isn't the best place to be doing it to show you guys. Almost like you just want to do like a half rotate, get that M block situated. And then, is this not rotating? It is. This isn't a Basterd Works foregrip. I don't know if he's done a foregrip actually. I'll check that out. But if he does, then it's what we should ask him to do. Go on his page on Cults 3D, link down below, and say to him, hey, could you do a AK style foregrip for the Saiga? Why is this not rotating properly? You know what? I think it's because it's a very thick rail. So what I'm going to do is loosen these bad boys up. So we've just got a lot more space. Otherwise, I'll do without it. We can do it on another build video. Okay, and then this guy. I'm running out of time. 15 minutes till live stream. This is going to be a roast my build live stream. So if you're watching this video now when I've uploaded it, that will be up there. So you can go check it out. All right, hopefully that works better. Otherwise, I might just need to get some longer M-lock screws. Is that going all the way in? Okay, that one's locked in. This one's not. Okay, I'll lock it on this one, on the back one, and then we can, oh, no, it's not. Okay, I'm going to leave this off, guys, just because otherwise we're just wasting time. I can put this on later. Yeah, I'm going to put this on later. I might actually end up just doing a slightly longer screw in there. Just because then I know it's going to fit. Although it could be that this bottom rail is what the issue is. It's just not got the space to rotate on it. So that might be something to think about, guys. I'm not 100% sure you can get a foregrip in there. So that is what we've created today. I hope that you guys have a great day wherever you are. Obviously, if you didn't see the first bit of the video where I installed this part and actually the foregrip, I would definitely recommend going and doing that. We can get rid of this here. Sorry. There we go. We got rid of it. Yeah, go and check this out. Check that out. But this thing is so solid. Like there's no rattle in it at all, and it is super, super lightweight now. Not in like a bad way, in like a good way where it feels like solid and just that way. I'm gonna try and keep that out for the next video, in the next live stream, so people can see it in the background. I can't touch it because it's a live stream on YouTube, but I can do that. All right, guys, thank you so much. Check out Basterd Labs down below in the link in the description. And if you have any questions, as always, put in the comments, and I'll see you very soon. Apparently not. I pushed this button to finish, and apparently it doesn't want to finish. So I'm going to click it.